I'm actually standing on what used to be a road that led up to this bridge behind me. So as you can see behind me, there has been a steady stream of traffic here on Interstate 75. Police say that all of these meth labs left unattended are not only dangerous to the environment of Leslie County. For example, this wall of fog behind me is all due to the high altitudes here near the Pikeville Airport. Without the proper amount of space or food, sometimes euthanizing the animals is their only option. The actual copper is inside these brass pipes, which are then attached to the antennas. Even though main roads like Highway 15 are clear, officials are still telling drivers to use extreme caution because they are still wet. Steve, crews are still on site surveying the crash, but they've been recently looking at a nearby tree that federal investigators believe have broken limbs that could be in connection to the crash. Now, they're not sure what that connection is, but they say they are going to continue to investigate all factors of what happened. 3 flags and 3 roses now stand in their honor.
Just a small way of our community saying how much we appreciate our evac team.
Police say pilot Eddie Sizemore, flight paramedic Herman Lee Dobbs, and flight nurse Jesse Jones died when the chopper exploded on impact.
Come down here as soon as the lights went out and saw the fire up there in the parking lot from as soon as I come across the hill here.
Police say the helicopter was on its way back from transporting a patient to London when it crashed just a couple hundred yards away from the landing pad in the Paces Creek Elementary School parking lot. A National Transportation Safety Board investigator says they are looking for specific indicators in the rubble.
We're going to go through, look at all the aircraft as it sits, and document any fracture points, the burn patterns, things like that.
Investigators don't know what caused the crash, but say a device on board may be able to help.
These have some similar recording devices. They don't get the cockpit voice, but they get the flight path and everything. So we're going to extract that and send that to our lab in D.C. for download to see if it has any pertinent information.
Police say they received conflicting reports of fog and engine noises from witnesses, but hope to soon find out what happened to their fellow first responders. Now, the federal investigator that I talked to today says that he expects parts of the helicopter to be moved as early as tomorrow, but also expects to be on scene investigating as late as Monday. Live in Clay County, Rebekah Pewitt, WYMT Mountain News. Bags upon bags of hazardous waste. Leslie County deputies say they came to Cane Fork to follow up on an anonymous meth lab tip, but found something similar to a meth factory instead.
Where it was so late, we really couldn't see because it's kind of a wooded area. So I decided to come back this evening, which when I returned, I did not expect to find what we found.
More than 160 meth labs and meth precursors littered the woods, hidden under leaves, trees, and some in plain sight.
The camping fuel, the blister packs, I've never seen that many before either. There was over 200 empty packages of pseudoephedrine. There's a bunch of them down here.
The labs ranged in shape and size. Several of them were still active. Police say that all of these meth labs left unattended are not only dangerous to the environment of Leslie County, but to everyone living within their proximity.
It can run off and get into the water system. It can affect people. I mean, this is just unacceptable.
Deputies say they have made meth busts in the area before, but the magnitude of Saturday's find will bring about extra enforcement.
After finding this, we're going to step up patrol in the area. We're going to do surveillance,
putting this wooded factory out of production. Bart Hauk and Joanna Swanson walk anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a day.
We usually aren't on the trail before 9 o'clock or so. When it's warmer, maybe we'll get out a little earlier. And then we walk.
They have come nearly 500 miles since they started the Great Eastern Trail in Alabama, and they plan to keep going until it ends in New York. But by the end of each day, they're ready for a little food and rest.
This time of year, it's awesome to go backpacking because you can bring any food you want. Nothing's going to go bad. You've got a refrigerator 24/7.
Which keeps everything else cold as well.
Here's my hat that I usually wear, but it froze solid.
If they brave the cold long enough to finish the trail, Bart and Joanna will be the first to ever fully complete it. But that means they have to figure it out as they hike. Because the Great Eastern Trail is still somewhat new, they say they've done quite a bit of road hiking in order to connect parts of the trail, sometimes even onto people's personal property.
Private property can be an issue. We end up going a few more miles than we want to sometimes to get to a safe place to camp.
But the extra steps have brought them that much closer.
It's a trail that's been in the works for a long time, and hopefully, I think at this stage in the game that we're pretty confident that we're going to finish it all.
To the nearly 1,000 miles left to walk. In Letcher County, Rebekah Pewitt, WYMT Mountain News.